Welcome to the Printer's Edge with LaManna, a podcast about how to sell, buy, or build a printing business. Now here are your hosts, LaManna and Ken Okel.
Welcome to the Printer's Edge podcast, presented by the LaManna Alliance. Hi, I'm Ken Okel. So glad to have you back. Want to remind you, if you ever miss an episode or want to make sure you never miss an episode, go onto iTunes, subscribe to this podcast. Also, you can find this podcast on YouTube under LaManna's YouTube channel, because we know that some of you might like to listen to it that way. Want to introduce Mr. LaManna to the program once again. Rock, how you doing today?
Doing great, Ken.
Rock, this is a fun one that we're talking about. We're calling this your Sinatra moment. We're talking about Frank Sinatra. He had that song, That's Life. Now, we're not going to play the song because we don't have the rights to it, but it really inspired you recently when it came to making some changes in your business.
That's true. I happen to be driving, and all of a sudden I'm listening to the Sinatra station, and all of a sudden, That's Life comes up. And the first thing that came through my mind was, that's business. Because what's on my mind usually is business. And just the lyrics and everything coming to it, it got deeper and deeper into the business feeling of what was going on in my life and my client's life. So that's kind of why we're here today, to talk about what's been going on.
You mentioned there were three things that suddenly struck you where you needed to make some changes to your business. And I guess the first one involved a common marketing tool, your website.
Recently, I happened to be talking to my IT team. We were searching for a potential website redesign, and we got some feedback, objective and information, and how my current website looks and what changes or what recommendations would be considered in the future. And basically they were saying that my baby was ugly.
Oh.
After 6 years of developing the website that I have. So I started thinking about it pretty heavily. Started thinking about the trade show season that we're coming up to. I thought, well, we're in August. In January, I'm going to make some big decisions here. And instead of having individual sources, individual teams that LaManna Alliance has put together over the last 20 years, I thought, well, maybe we should start really looking at a primary source and maybe a marketing director, putting all this together. The first thing that I had to start thinking about was, hey, that's life. That's part of growing, is investing and basically organizing your situation. And with today's marketplace, with social media, trade shows, website development, all this content marketing and blogging and e-news and so on, it's just so complex for somebody like me that's running a business by itself. So I needed to basically start looking at this very seriously. And so Big Frank made me decide which way to go. Thanks to Frank, I'm thinking that's business.
Old blue eyes.
You got it.
You had another situation where an opportunity came up that could be a very good one, but it was one that you weren't necessarily expecting.
Print 17. Of course, I was going to attend. I've been attending Print, the Graphic Expo, for years. One of my clients approached me and said, hey, Rock, would you like to present at our trade show this year? I said, sure. What's it going to take? Well, Rock, first of all, you have access for the 4 days. And I'm like, well, I plan on going and I'd love to. But in the meantime, I'm there on my own accord for certain situations. So a lot of my clients will be there walking through and so on, plus more, plus the future prospects and so on. So I said, okay, I'll put that together. Well, I underestimated the time, the effort, and the organization once again. So it kept pointing towards, Rock, you need help. When you need help, you have to invest. And when you invest, you have to really decide who you trust, who's got the synergy, who's got the expertise. That's what we had to do. So here we are in less than 30 days. We're going to have a booth. We're going to have a theme. We'll be ready to rock and roll on the 10th of September at Print 17 in Chicago.
And I understand you'll be found at booth 4843.
Yes, 4843. And we're going to have some exciting themes, and we're going to have some great ideas.
Should we talk about the theme you're working on, the kind of a familiar thing about beef?
I was brought up in the 70s. I was married in the late 70s, early 80s, and there was this commercial out there.
It's a classic.
Oh, yeah. And the more I think about my business and what I do and connecting buyers and sellers in the print business, we're always talking about valuations. And that's basically the beef of the bun and the hamburger. We're going to try to make it some fun, try to attract some people. We're going to start doing some marketing. And basically, that's the term is, where's the beef on printing organizations and their values today.
Oh, that sounds fun. The third thing that you realized in your Sinatra moment had to do with more content and kind of changing the way you do things there.
Well, I've heavily invested the last 5 or 6 years in analytics and social media, and things are growing. We're in excellent position to expand our reach. And we're talking about utilizing social media, looking at videos, looking at podcasts, looking at blogs, e-news, and so on. All the numbers are showing up, growing. And now I'm at the point where my experience has been with 3M Company after many, many years. And I always looked at them as not only innovative, but creating markets. And the more they push marketing, the more opportunities they got worldwide, and they would apply that to their salespeople for tools. Well, you could see the brand that 3M's got. Well, I feel the same way. I'm very distinctive of what I do, and I'm honing in on that, and the people that I work with are starting to understand more and more how I need to be, and the brand needs to be more consistent and more expansive, to the point where, okay, Rock, this is the time. Let's keep this thing rolling while we got the time to do it. And that's basically when I decided in the last 30, 60 days that we're going to reorganize, restructure, and we're going towards the future. And of course, everybody's much, much younger than me, but they understand the process. And these people are all experts. So that's what the LaManna Alliance has done. But I had to make sure that I had a budget. I had to make sure I had the cash to invest on it. We're going to be looking at the ROI because we could track that. And we have to get the right person, the right talent to put it all together.
And for the print business owner, these are all important points, because you may suddenly have that moment where you look in the mirror, you maybe hear a little Sinatra, and all of a sudden you realize, uh-oh.
I'll tell you, it's not an easy decision, especially when it's uncomfortable for you, because you're going to have to let go of the control, because you have to count on someone else to implement this, and you have to trust the process. But the key is, in my eyes, is making sure you get the right people aligned to get to the right goals and so on. So you have to be, it's like a football team. You got your specialists, you got your team, you got your strategy. So you got your people, you got your strategy. You need to execute. And of course, you need cash. You need cash to invest and to grow.
Rock, we've talked about what you've been doing in the recent past. What's your plan for, let's say, the next 3 weeks or so?
Well, I'm sure you mentioned 3 weeks because I fill up my schedule like crazy here. That's why I need help. What's going on? Let's see here. Got some international visitors coming in to look at a label packaging company, which could be very interesting. Equipment. I have a very good appraiser for printing equipment, packaging equipment, label equipment that we plan on having on my website for sale, and we're putting some prices together for moving the equipment. Preparing for the Print 17, we got a backdrop, we got some artwork coming out, we got some blogs coming out. LNNW, we got a new article coming out. I mean, The next 3 weeks are very busy. At the same time, I got to get a pair of new shoes.
Oh, that's always the challenging thing. That's the
Yes.
thing I always forget. The article coming out in LNW, it's an interesting one because it's about family business and how things can change over time. I think people are going to like that.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. It's about a family business that's second, third generation. I was very involved with a family business, so I have a lot of experience. So I got to call and get Cindy's insights. Besides, I'm not going to give it away here, but we'll do a little podcast on it.
And of course, at Print 17, the booth, 4843. You're in the power corner, we'll call it. Good location. If someone comes there, it's not just about getting a piece of candy. You're actually giving people some very valuable information.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Basically, it's all focused on where's the beef. We're going to talk about valuations very discreetly. You only have to answer 3 questions, and I'll have a pretty good ballpark of what your value of your business will be. So it's a must stop. If I'm unavailable at that time, just text me. 561-543-2323. Give me a time. I'll be at 4843 to meet with you.
Also, some places, all you get is a little piece of candy. You have another giveaway that I think is going to be a little more valued by people in America.
It's going to be a very inspirational piece. So you're going to have to stop by and introduce yourself to me and just ask for America United.
Sounds good. Rock, if people want to find out more about you and your world, what should they do?
No problem. Go to my website, rocklamanna.com. That's ROCKLAMANNA. Subscribe to my e-news, which is awesome information and content. I also have a blog, the podcast, the YouTube. I could go on and on and on.
We had a neat behind-the-scenes video of you touring a plant that went up on the YouTube channel. A lot of people have been enjoying that.
Yes, that's going over very well.
And the bottom line column, like we mentioned earlier.
LNW, no problem. You can subscribe to that also on my website, rocklamanna.com.
And I am Ken Okel. You can go to my website, which is kenokel.com, KENOKEL. Connect with me on LinkedIn as well. It's also my name there. You can find out more about me. I do a lot of speaking on productivity. I have a book that came out called Stuck on Yellow. It's an easy-to-read book. Nice gift to give the boss, especially if the boss needs to up the game a little bit. So that's all our time for now. Rock, I guess we'll go out with our usual saying.
See you in the marketplace.
This is the Prince's Edge with Rock LaManna. Thanks for listening.